Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I'm Father Steve Sellers, and thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel today for my brief daily message of hope and inspiration and maybe a little encouragement and a little joy. We're here to help each other accomplish all of that. That's why God put us here, to help and serve one another. So I'm going to try to help you a little bit today if you promise to try to help me a little bit too. And the main way we do that is by praying for each other. And I'll be praying for you. Please keep praying for me. We all still need it now. We're in still strange waters in this country. And so strange, in fact, that it leads to something I want to talk about just very briefly this morning. I had a young person at Mass last night ask a question. And she really wasn't sure how to ask it, but she was basically wanting to know if the young man that she was interested in was real or whether he was phony. How do you tell a real deal from a phony baloney, as we used to say in the old days? And it was a very important question because we're surrounded today by people who pass themselves off as being so good and so helpful. But how do we know they're real? How can we tell if the words that we're hearing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week are coming from a sincere person or from someone who has a different agenda that's hidden right now? Well, part of this is that we need to pray about it. And so I encourage the young woman to pray about it and let God help you decide. But also there are other ways to look at it. I played a song just a minute ago, a couple of verses from a number one song from 1959 by the great soul group, the Platters, called The Great Pretender. And so how do we know if someone that we're interested in is the real thing or the great pretender? Well, Jesus has a way of telling us to do that. We look at the fruit that is produced by a person's life. Jesus said you can always tell a good tree by the good fruit that it produces. And likewise, you can tell a bad tree by the bad fruit that it produces. The New Testament tells us a lot more about that too. When you go to Galatians chapter 5, look at what sort of fruit that the Spirit produces. If you want to know if someone that you're interested in or someone you're talking to or someone who's moved in next door, whatever it is, you're wondering if they're a spiritual person, look at the types of fruit that they're producing, spiritual fruit. St. Paul gives us a list of those: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Those are the spiritual fruits listed in the New Testament, and there are also fruits of the flesh. There's a really long list for that St. Paul mentions, including jealousy and disorderly conduct and drunkenness and licentiousness and lying and stealing and cheating. Look at the fruit that's produced by a person. And you can tell who is the real thing and who's the great pretender. Do that with the politicians you listen to. Do that with the people who show up on the news. Look at the fruit that they're producing in their lives. If it's not the spiritual list, then it's probably the other list. You can't just go on what people say. We want to be trusting and kind, but our trust is in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. And of course, always pray about whether the person you're doing business with or contracting marriage with or whatever it is, or just want to be friends with. Pray to the Lord. Ask God to show you what the person's heart is really like and let the person see yours. And of course, make sure that you're in right relationship with the Lord too. That's part of the process too. But just know that Jesus is here to help you with all of that. I tried to explain to the young woman, Jesus is with you. Let him help you. He's right there. He knows everyone's heart, including the hearts of the young man that you're interested in. And don't just go on how you're feeling. Go on what the Lord tells you. Sometimes our feelings, despite what Obi-Wan Kenobi told Luke Skywalker, sometimes it's not good to trust your feelings. Trust what you know to be true, and you know that God is true. And he's with you and he loves you. And I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day today. God bless you.